Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you 4 tips that allowed me to study less and get higher grades in my A-level exams. When I was in year 11, I did not know how to study, and school never taught me how to study. I had to go out there and actually see what works. And I'm here to tell you, these are the 4 things that I did to study way more efficiently and, actually get better grades in my exams. If you're new here, my name is Matthew. I'm an A-level student. And I recently graduated high school and I got 3 A stars and 1 A in my A-level exams. And believe it or not, I only studied maximum 2 to 3 hours every single day. And so firstly, you need to ignore what everyone else is saying. Because chances are, a lot of students around you, they're going to complain about, oh, I've just got so much homework, I'm cooked. Don't listen to them. Everyone around you is speaking some sort of lie when they say that you need to study long ass hours to get the grades that you want. When they say they're studying 10 hours a day, they're probably not studying 10 hours a day. They're probably studying for, at most 2 hours of deep focused studying. For the rest of the time, they're actually just goofing off on their phone. And I know this for sure because every single time I walk into HKU, most of them are on their phone, scrolling on Instagram, replying to WhatsApp messages. They're not even studying. So when they say they're studying for 6 hours a day, they're not. So, firstly, you need to ignore what others are saying. And secondly, you need to change your study environment. So I want to show you a short story. So 3 weeks ago, I actually flew back to Thailand to visit my family. I had an economics midterm literally 1 week from now. So I tried to study and I needed to study because if I didn't study, I would have gotten absolutely cooked. And so I remember one day I'm in my room on the 2nd floor and I'm trying to study. Like I literally just woke up, did my morning routine and all that stuff, and I try to sit down and study. But then there's this really big mirror in front of me and I'm trying to study, and then I look up to my mirror and I check myself out a little bit and I just could not lock in. So the main reason why I couldn't study and I couldn't focus was because my environment was completely trash. Plus, it didn't really help that there was a bed literally right next to me as I was trying to study. Your environment dictates your actions, not the other way around. People think that you need willpower to be able to study, that you need to be able to focus on command. But if you're constantly in an environment where you just cannot do it easily, then your brain is just going to choose the easiest path. It's going to daydream. It's going to zone out and start thinking about a gajillion random thoughts. You want to make focus your only option, your default option. So the easiest way to do this is to go outside, go to a library, a cafe, or a classroom where you can just sit down and focus without any distractions. Because think about it. Imagine you're studying at some random spot, maybe a random cafe that's like super noisy. You can hear like background music going around and you can hear literally people walking behind you. Do you think you could focus in that environment? And let's say you can actually focus. Do you know how much cognitive willpower and energy that's going to take out of you? So if you want to actually focus and study effectively, you need to choose a good environment to study. This is one really nice spot. If I go early in the morning, I can kind of steal the spot from other students and put my stuff on the desk. And so whenever I walk to study at that spot, I know 100% I will actually be doing stuff. So the third thing is to stop studying. This sounds extremely counterintuitive, but it's actually very practical. And so believe it or not, the best thing that you could do right now might be to stop studying, because everyone else is saying that you need to study in the library or study in your room for long ass hours at a time. They're studying completely wrong. So what I like to do is I never study more than 3 hours in a given session. I usually take at least 1 or 2 breaks in between those sessions. My personal study and work philosophy is to work like a lion. A lion does really short sprints, but long periods of recovery. If you think about it, like the predators of the animal kingdom, they're just kind of like, lying on the ground, they're just chilling, when suddenly they go into hunt mode, and then they unleash this really, really big burst of energy where they start, like, chasing down the prey and stuff. That's the mindset that I want you to have. Honestly, I'd much rather you be studying 1 hour with maximal focus rather than study, 6 hours or 4 hours with kind of mid-level focus. You want to do shorter study sessions, but also have longer periods of recovery where you're not really studying, but just chilling and actually enjoying your time. Because chances are, 10, 20, 30 years from now, you're going to look back and think to yourself, why did I spend more time doing cool stuff when I was younger? So the fourth thing is that you need to remove your crutches. So I remember it was year 10 and I've literally just woken up from my bed. And the first thing I do is I reach to my right and I grab my phone and start scrolling on Instagram. Like I would like swipe and then, oh shit. And then it was all over. You could probably guess what happened next. So it was literally 1 hour in. I was still lying down in my bed. I haven't even taken off my bed sheets yet. And I literally remember around that morning, I tried to get up and actually study at my desk that was like, 3 meters away. But I just couldn't. I literally could not study because my mind was still thinking about the last video that I watched like 30 minutes ago. The reason why I could not study was because my attention span and my dopamine system was absolutely cooked. And I mean, this is my problem personally with all of the study YouTubers out there. They're talking about all of the study methods, but they never really address the root cause that is preventing you from studying efficiently. And that is yourself. And I can tell you this firsthand. This was 100% true because once I quit porn and I stopped scrolling on Instagram, I deleted Instagram on my phone. My study sessions and my studying and my grades literally skyrocketed. It literally went from like 83% to like 95 and above. And it was because I actually hopped on self-improvement and got rid of all of the bullshit that was kind of plaguing me and that was kind of destroying me from the inside. And so most study tips and study YouTube videos, they're just designed to hook you into thinking that you need some sort of remedy, some sort of, study tip that actually works and that's going to magically make all your study problems disappear. And I'm going to give you a brutal truth right now. Your study system is not the problem. You are the problem. I was the problem when I was constantly watching porn and scrolling on Instagram. And once I've quit those things, I found it so much easier to actually study and get the grades that I wanted to and get accepted to my dream university and actually make my parents proud. And so I want to help you to do that as well. And if you've tried so many of the other study tips and methods that you see on the internet and they just don't work for you, you might want to check out A-Level Academy, which is basically like my coaching community where I literally teach you the systems and mindsets you need to become an A-star student. But as always, may God guide us the right path and I'll see you in the next video.